Hark! Welcome once more to Happy Luck, the realm where the most delectable stories unfold. Pray, do not let thyself forget to subscribe, that thou mayest ever be apprised of our most recent tales. Hark! I am called Zohan, a youth of 25 years, toiling as a craftsman of code at a modest establishment of technology, nestled just beyond the city's embrace. Since our days of youthful learning, I have shared a bond with Dylan, one that hath endured the passage of time, steadfast and true. In this tale of yore, a most unforeseen day did unfold, altering the very course of existence for both myself and my kin. For many a year, Dylan and I have shared a bond, yet my heart hath ever been captivated by his mother, Linda. Her warmth and vivacity doth enchant the very soul. Upon each occasion of my visit, I found myself oft engaged in discourse with her, at times even more so than with Dylan himself. She is of a gentle disposition, finds mirth in my jests, and verily, she possesses a beauty most enchanting. There exists a certain allure within her being that I find utterly impossible to disregard. Thus, upon the arrival of a day unburdened by duty, I resolved to bestow upon Dylan the delight of an unexpected visit. I gave it but little thought. I seized my keys and ventured forth without prior announcement. I fancied it would be a merry and unpremeditated reunion. Upon my arrival, Dylan was absent from his abode, yet Linda did grace the threshold, her countenance reflecting astonishment at my presence. She welcomed me with a gentle smile, her laughter a soft melody as she beckoned me within. Verily, this doth come as a surprise. She spake with that most recognizable smile. Verily, Dylan did not speak of thy impending arrival. I didst smile and gently caressed the nape of my neck. With a heart full of mischief, I declared my intent to astonish him. She didst laugh and gracefully stepped aside. Though he is absent at this moment, thou art most welcome to linger until his return. At that moment, a tempestuous deluge did descend, rendering the act of departure most arduous. Linda cast her gaze upon the window, arched an eyebrow in contemplation, and then returned her attention to me. Verily, thou art not venturing forth in such tempestuous climes, she proclaimed, her smile blossoming ever wider. It appears thou must tarry a while longer. I did acquiesce, harboring a quiet joy at the pretext to linger longer. She did guide me to the chamber of leisure, where we took our repose. The gentle patter of the rain wove a serene and tender ambiance as we engaged in our discourse. Her presence didst grow upon me, a treasure more cherished with each passing moment. Linda did present unto me a steaming cup of tea whilst the rain did patter against the panes. Seated in the warm embrace of the hearth's glow, we engaged in discourse regarding our toils, the essence of existence, and, naturally, a touch upon the musings of Dylan. Her laughter, gentle and alluring, wrapped around me like a warm embrace, evoking a sense of belonging. From time to time, our gazes would intertwine, holding a moment longer than the ordinary, and I sensed that delicate flame igniting between us. As we conversed, she reclined in her seat, nonchalantly crossing her legs. Her posture, so graceful and imbued with confidence, didst capture mine eye most assuredly. Though she had reached the age of 50, an air of eternal grace enveloped her being. Her vivacity, her radiant grin, it all bore the essence of youth, and I found myself utterly entranced. I endeavored to conceal my feelings, yet I suspect she discerned my secret, for her eyes sparkled with mirth each time I cast my gaze upon her. Thus spake she, with a mischievous grin, breaking the silence that enveloped my musings. Zohan, thou art most unusually silent this eve. What troubles thy thoughts? Surprised and unprepared, I faltered, a nervous laugh escaping my lips. Verily, I find myself in a state of surprise, for I did not foresee my presence in such a manner. Only we two shall remain. She did incline her head, her eyes aglow with warmth and playful jest. Verily, 'tis a most pleasant surprise, she uttered with gentle grace. Dylan doth not frequent these halls as oft as in days of yore, and 'tis a welcome solace to have companionship in this time. Her utterances were light, yet the fervor in her voice set my heart racing. Our discourse persisted, and in due course, the dialogue ventured into more intimate realms. She recounted tales of her tender years, aspirations once cherished, and the transformations that time hath wrought upon her existence. I found myself utterly captivated, clinging to each utterance with rapt attention. As the hours did wane, the tempest without did swell in fury, offering no promise of respite. Linda cast her gaze upon the clock, then turned to me with a smile that spoke of contemplation. It appears the heavens shall not part with their gloom in the near future, she declared. Lo, the heavens dost weep with fervor, as the rain doth pour forth in torrents upon the earth. I didst nod, casting mine eyes upon the tempestuous rain that did pour from the heavens. Verily, I do not believe I shall find my way home this eve. She did acquiesce, her tone gentle in its comprehension. Thou art most welcome to linger here if it pleaseth thee. Dylan's chamber lies but a short passage away. I didst smile, filled with gratitude yet conscious of the excitement that didst stir within me. Gratitude to thee, Linda, thy kindness would be most cherished. She vanished for but a fleeting moment, only to reappear with additional blankets, which she laid upon the couch beside me. As our hands did lightly touch in the exchange, a wave of warmth did envelop my being, compelling mine eyes to rise and meet hers. She didst hold mine gaze, her countenance gentle and beckoning, and for a fleeting moment, all that lay beyond appeared to vanish into the ether. Verily, she spoke with a gentle tone, akin to a soft breeze. I have long held the belief that thou art a most enchanting young man. And now that thou art present, it hath been truly delightful to converse in this intimate manner. Mine heart did race with fervor. Verily, I share thy sentiments, dear Linda, I did respond. The atmosphere that enveloped us was laden with sentiments left unsaid. She gazed upon me, her eyes delving into the depths of my own. And then, with a measured grace, she drew nearer, her warmth enveloped me, and the delicate fragrance of her perfume wafted through the air that lay betwixt us. In that instant, I became aware that this was a memory destined to linger in my mind for all time. She didst hold mine gaze a moment longer, and I beheld the warmth within her eyes. Then, without breaking the gaze that bound us, she extended her hand and delicately swept a wayward lock of hair from my brow. Her fingers tarrying longer than the moment demanded, mine breath was ensnared as her gentle caress ignited a fervor within. And I found myself leaning into her tender grasp. Zohan, she uttered with a gentle breath, akin to a wistful sigh. Thou art truly remarkable. The phrases hung in the atmosphere, and in that instant, I could no longer restrain myself. As I drew near, I tenderly clasped her hand within my own. Her skin, a gentle warmth, did not yield to the distance. She remained close, unafraid to linger in the moment. Instead, she did incline her form, her lips parting but a breath, as though beckoning me to draw nigh. With my heart aflame, I leaned forth and gently pressed my lips to hers. Hesitantly at the outset, she did reply, her kiss a gentle warmth, her hand softly gracing my cheek. We didst halt for a fleeting instant, and when our gazes did intertwine once more, there existed no faltering betwixt us. I encircled my arm about her, drawing her nearer as our lips met with fervor, a desire that had been simmering throughout the night. She didst sigh gently upon my lips, her hand gliding to the nape of my neck, drawing me near as though she too had long awaited this moment. Her touch did strike me with a sudden thrill, compelling my fingers to wander along the gentle arc of her waist, where I felt the warmth that lay beneath my caress. With measured grace, she withdrew, her gaze sparkling with a mischievous light. Pray, dost thou not see, she murmured, I ne'er imagined such a fate would befall us. Yet now, it seems, we both perceive the path that lies ahead. I didst smile and nod. Verily, I am most pleased that it is so. The rain did persist in its relentless descent beyond the threshold. Yet within these walls, a sense of warmth and intimacy enveloped all. She reclined upon the couch, drawing me near, and I encircled her with my arms. Embracing her tenderly, her delicate fingers danced upon my back, each caress igniting a fresh warmth betwixt our souls. Once more our lips did meet, yet this time with greater depth and intimacy. Her hands did wander, and her warmth beckoned me, as though she had long awaited this moment with the same fervor as I. Her delicate fingers danced along my arms, a gentle and playful caress, and I found myself smiling against her lips. She gazed upon me with a warmth that mirrored the sun's embrace. Her delicate fingers poised against my breast, as though to sense the fervor of my heart quickening beneath her gentle caress. I bent low, pressing my lips to her neck, allowing them to linger as I sensed her tremor against my form. Every instant seemed to stretch into eternity, and I found myself enveloped in the tender warmth of her embrace. Our hearts entwined in harmony as the rain cascaded beyond the window. She did sigh gently, inclining ever so slightly that my hand might discover the gentle curve of her waist. A most exquisite fit beneath my caress. Emboldened by her reply, I allowed my hand to glide gently, following the contours of her back, sensing the warmth that permeated the delicate weave of her garment. She did release a soft whisper, her hand alighting upon my shoulder, drawing me nearer, her warmth encasing me, and the sensation was irresistibly alluring. With an irresistible urge, I bent low, my lips grazing the delicate curve of her neck, relishing the tender warmth of her skin and the delightful tremor that coursed through her. As she tilted her head, beckoning me to draw nearer, I leaned in gently, coaxing her to respond with fervor. And with great care, I endeavored to slide my hands beneath her garment. To experience her gentle touch was a delight, invigorating my very spirit. At last, I could no longer restrain my yearning to delve deeper into her essence. Our gazes entwined, and in that moment, an unspoken bond blossomed between us. I drew near once more, pressing my lips to hers with fervor, relishing every fleeting instant. Mine hand did find her hip, and I felt her pulse quicken beneath my gentle touch. She appeared to surrender entirely to my embrace, her form fitting seamlessly with my own as I drew her near. Each caress now seemed more instinctive, more entwined. She gazed upon me, her eyes aglow with warmth, brimming with sentiments we could scarce articulate. Then, with a gentle smile, she reclined upon the couch, directing my hand to her shoulder, her fingers entwining with mine. I allowed my other hand to descend along her leg, sensing the warmth beneath my palm as I caressed her thigh gently. The bond that tethered us was inarguable, and our lips met with a languid grace, relishing each fleeting instant as our union grew profound, causing me to forget all but the warmth of her presence within my embrace. As we did part, breathless and bewildered, the realm beyond had undergone a wondrous transformation. The rain did persist in its descent, enveloping us in a somber atmosphere that cocooned our souls within a realm of our own making. I beheld the rosy hue upon her cheeks, the glimmer of her lips, kissed by our fervent embraces, kindling a flame of longing deep within my soul. Never before had I experienced such a fervent bond, a raw affinity that beckoned me nearer to her, compelling me to delve deeper into the mysteries that lay between us. Perchance we ought to relocate this discourse to a more agreeable setting, she proposed, her tone soft and alluring, tinged with playful intrigue. With naught but a silent nod, I felt a surge of elation course through my veins as she guided me through the shadowy corridor towards her chamber. The portal did creak ajar, unveiling a chamber that bore an air of both closeness and hospitality. Gently illuminated by the tender radiance of a lamp's glow, the chamber was adorned with exquisite furnishings, yet it was her very essence that breathed vitality into the space. She didst turn to face me, her gaze unwavering and brimming with fervor, the air betwixt us heavy with expectation as the door did click shut behind us. The echo lingered in the stillness, heightening the gravity of the occasion. I approached with a heart aflame, irresistibly lured to her presence as a moth is to the flickering light. Mine heart did quicken as she advanced a pace towards me. I did extend my hand towards hers, our fingers entwining, the warmth of her skin igniting a spark within me, a sensation most profound. With a tender pull, I drew her nearer, my other hand gliding along her waist, savoring the delicate warmth of her form pressed against my own. She gazed upon me, her eyes alight with longing and playful intrigue, and I sensed my determination wane as I bent closer. Seizing her lips anew, the kiss didst deepen, growing ever more fervent as I drew her close, our forms entwined in harmonious embrace. Her warmth did envelop me, each kiss igniting a tempest of electric fervor coursing through my very being. Her delicate fingers danced upon my arms, mapping the sinews before entwining in my tresses. drawing me nearer and beckoning me to delve deeper. As I withdrew from the embrace, I gazed into her eyes, beholding the mirrored flames of fervor and desire we had kindled within one another. I did lay my brow upon hers, relishing the instant, feeling both a thrill and a tender fragility. "Art thou certain of this matter?" I did but murmur, my utterance scarcely rising above a gentle sigh. Her response was a gentle smile, accompanied by a nod, as her gaze met mine with an intensity that spoke volumes. "Never have I held such certainty," she declared, her voice unwavering and imbued with a gentle warmth. With that declaration, I bent once more, seizing her lips with fervor. This moment, I withdrew, tenderly ushering her upon the bed's embrace. The mattress, a gentle embrace, welcomed her as she surrendered to its comfort. Whilst I lingered above, the tension of expectation thickening the atmosphere around us. With deliberate grace, I allowed my lips to wander upon her neck, bestowing gentle kisses along her collarbone, relishing each fleeting moment as I sensed her form tremble beneath my caress. Her delicate touch did beckon upon my skin, compelling me forth as I traversed her form, relishing each soft breath, each whispered sound that graced her mouth. I didst pause for a moment, casting mine eyes upon her. The manner in which she gazed upon me, brimming with yearning and faith, left me utterly speechless. I drew near, our forms entwined in harmonious accord as I pressed against her. Mine hand did graze her thigh, a tender yet claiming touch that did send a tremor through our very beings. As the tempest did persist in its relentless assault upon the window pane, I found myself enraptured by her presence, the realm beyond dissolving into naught but a distant memory. With fervor I did advance, driven by the bond we shared, each gentle caress, each fervent embrace delving into the profound realms of our yearnings. Our forms did dance in harmony, enraptured by the cadence of desire, and a wave of contentment did envelop me as each fleeting instant drew us nearer in fervent embrace. The eve unfurled, abundant with murmured mirth and breaths of delight as we wholly surrendered to one another. The confines of our camaraderie did fade, supplanted by a bond more profound, a tempestuous and exquisite connection. Never did I conceive that a night could reveal itself in such a manner. With every fleeting instant, we drew nearer, ensconced in a vast ocean of closeness. At last, as weariness didst take its toll, I reclined beside her, mine arm encircling her shoulders in a tender embrace. We were both breathless, our sighs entwined as we beheld the remnants of our union. Her delicate fingers danced upon my chest, and I bent low, bestowing a gentle kiss upon her brow, relishing the warmth of her form pressed against my own. "This eve was most wondrous," I whispered, my heart brimming with feelings I could scarce define. She didst turn towards me, a gentle smile adorning her lips. "Indeed, it was," she responded, her eyes glimmering with delight and a touch of playful cunning. "Verily, I do believe I might grow accustomed to this state of affairs." As we succumbed to the gentle embrace of slumber, the rain without began to wane, yet within, our souls remained entwined, irrevocably transformed by this unforeseen eve of fervor. In that moment, I discerned that this was but the dawn of a remarkable tale. Intricately spun with strands of yearning, camaraderie, and a blossoming affection, we reclined, enwrapped in one another's embrace, reveling in the warmth of our fervent union. The realm beyond gradually resumed its accustomed state. The rain had abated, and the gentle cadence upon the window pane served as a balm to our hushed exchanges and tender mirth. As I was succumbing to the gentle embrace of slumber, the sudden and piercing chime of the doorbell roused me from my repose. In that moment, time stood still, and my heart did race as I beheld her visage. A blend of astonishment and dread danced within her gaze. The weight of the present hour descended upon us with great force. Her progeny, mine ally, did return to the hearth. "Is that the one?" she commenced, her voice scarcely rising above a mere murmur. "Indeed, 'tis he," I did respond, my thoughts a tempest within. In haste, we endeavored to restore our semblance of decorum. Yet the tumultuous clamor of fabric and attire only served to amplify the disorder around us. The doorbell did chime once more, with a fervor that set my heart to racing. "Hasten, conceal thyself," she implored, her gaze aflame with fervent urgency. With a furtive gaze, I surveyed the chamber, yearning for an escape from this confining space. In a moment devoid of contemplation, I plunged into the closet, aligning myself with the wall's embrace. Mine heart did thump within mine ears. I didst hold mine breath, straining to catch the whispers of what transpired beyond the chamber door. Mother, dost thou reside within our humble abode? Lo, I did hear my companion's voice resound, reverberating through the halls of our abode. I did suspect I might encounter thee in this very place, quoth he. She did unbar the portal to the chamber of leisure, her countenance transforming from one of disarray to that of serene poise. Indeed, I am present, she responded, her tone unwavering even amidst the tumult within her breast. I beheld her through the rear of the wardrobe's portal, standing proud, her visage revealing naught of her thoughts. In that moment fraught with tension, I found myself captivated by her grace and composure. Didst thou find thyself ensnared by the tempest? He inquired, crossing the threshold, wholly oblivious to the mood that enveloped the dwelling. I didst hold my breath, yearning to behold his visage, pondering how deeply he perceived the weight of the moment. A mere sprinkle, quoth she, a tremor of unease threading through her tone. Yet I am well enough. How fared thy day, good sir or madam? It was most commendable. I did long for the chance to spend time in thy company. From the market, I have procured some delightful morsels, he declared with a merry spirit. A wry smile escaped my lips, for I found humor in the commonplace nature of his utterances, starkly juxtaposed against the fervor of recent events. Verily, grant me but a moment, she spake, casting her gaze toward the chamber door as though perceiving my presence. I didst hold mine breath, in eager anticipation of what fate would unfold next. Would she bid him enter? Would he perceive a discord in the air? Verily, I shall make haste, she declared, as she turned from the portal and approached my side once more. I beheld the steadfastness in her gaze, a fierce resolve to seize this fleeting moment with unwavering grip. Hasten, don thy garments, she implored with fervor, her heart racing in tandem with my own. With haste, I adorned myself, striving to still the tempest of my restless musings. In the chamber of our abode, I discerned the gentle stirrings of my companion, the soft rustle of bags as he delved into their depths. Dost thou believe he is aware? I inquired softly, a tremor of dread weaving into my tone. Nay, he cannot, quoth she, biting her lip, a blend of fervor and trepidation gracing her countenance. Pray, conduct thyself with the utmost decorum. We shall find a way forth. With a final gaze exchanged, we steeled our hearts for the inevitable return to the realm of reality. With a heart that did thump and race, I emerged from the shadows of the closet, joining her in the chamber of leisure, just as my companion spun about, a broad smile gracing his visage. Lo and behold, thou art present. Verily, I began to suspect thou wert concealing thyself from my gaze. He did chuckle, wholly unaware of the electric fervor that danced about him. Merely arranging a few matters, she responded with grace, casting upon me a look that conveyed much more than words could express. As the twilight hour descended upon us, mirth danced in the air, veiling the unvoiced sentiments and the palpable strain that lingered in our midst. Mine heart did race still, the recollection of our fervor lingering in the recesses of my thoughts. It was a fragile equilibrium betwixt camaraderie and burgeoning emotions. Yet in that instant, enveloped by the embrace of kinship and the exhilaration of recent events, I discerned one truth with unwavering clarity. This was but the prologue to a tale most intricate and fair. One that neither of us could have foreseen,